Alright, so this is a reaction video. Um, First of all, I'm gonna listen to it a little bit first before we get going. Clearly. Alright, so I'm gonna preemptively strike. So we're gonna listen to it, and then we'll take some points with what he says.
If you want to watch me rant, yeah. But if you want to watch an actual video from me, then you can watch any other.
I think rant videos are the best, though, in my opinion. Anyway, I love rant videos. I don't like scripted. I mean, it depends what I'm listening to. If it's or whatever, it doesn't matter. I do like rant videos, though. I think script videos are a bit weird. Like I said, depending on what they are. But when it comes to this game, I like to listen to people. As someone who's done game development before.
Video except the Sunday videos, except the rehab facility videos. So, now that this is done.
And by the way, make sure you do actually go and check him out. He's actually probably will disagree with him in this video, but you know he's a good content creator. So and as he says, he's a musician. He's not actually a YouTuber for gaming, so to speak. He said that, not me, by the way.
Yeah, so I think that our standards for this game are a bit too low, and here's why. I have played a bunch of alphas in my lifetime. I was an alpha tester of Squad. Some of you that subscribed already know.
Okay, right. This disagreement. What standards are too low? Now, I think standards is the wrong word. I think it means I think expectations are too high. That would be my problem. I think the expectation of a lot of people who play Star Citizen are way too high. Like, as someone who used to test for Sony, fucking, I don't know, when I was like 17 or whatever. Like, testing a game for Q&A or QA quality assurance is not the same thing as you are playing the game. Now, in this day and age, people think, oh, it's not a game, right? A game is only a game when it's finished, right? Then it becomes a game. So what you're actually doing is you're in a sandbox at this point. Star Citizen is not a game; it's a sandbox. Now that's to say it's a game, right? But technically, it's not finished. So what you're doing is quality assurance. You're trying to find all the bits and bobs while it's still in development. Now, normally it gets shipped. Uh, you would never get a beta as a Q&A, really, to be fair. You'd normally, well, you would, but in terms of the natural cycle of game development, you'd normally get a couple of builds, and then you get the gold disc. And the gold disc would be, these are the final bugs we need to check. If you was in a good QA team anyway, you get the gold disc. Or it would be the one before the gold disc in terms of, you know, sending it back and saying, yeah, it's past the level of standards that we find happy, basically. Star Citizen will never, in my opinion, do that. I don't even think Star Citizen will ever be an alpha, and I think that's the main problem with this game is that it's never going to be. We're never going to get an alpha build ever in terms of how you would normally look at a game or this development cycle. It's constantly an alpha. So you can't really say it's one because it's never going to get past it. So you're just going to say work in progress, which is a bit mad to say, but it's true. Anyway, let's continue.
This story, but I'm gonna like tell it again. I was an alpha tester of Squad. I was an alpha tester of War Thunder, and I got banned from the forums of War Thunder because I was telling the devs to fix the fucking game.
Yeah, see the thing. See, fix the fucking game isn't. That's not. You don't test it and say fix the fucking game. You raise the issues and then the devs get round to it. What you do is, right, you suggest. I'll give you a good example, right? November last year, and I raised this with Salty Mike myself. November last year, I was doing ground missions when nobody else was. Like literally, nobody was doing this, and I only posted it nowhere because I thought it's probably worthy of it. But I've been testing the function probably a few months. Well, I wouldn't say a few months. I'd say a month or two before, because I was like, I've done everything in the sky. I own every ship that has a loop. But these fucking planets are huge. So I'm like, well, is the can I have some fun doing box missions? There were the Ling missions actually. I think was it Ling or Kovacs? I forgot what one. No, they were Kovacs missions, right? 20 grand. This was not a joke. 20 grand to go from one point on a planet to another, and they removed these by the way, just so you know. But you should get 20 grand for doing a box mission. But the thing is, it would take you about uh, I don't know 20 minutes to fly on the planet or over the planet. I used to do it in my Connie actually, but it was 20 grand or something like that. Um, so I was like, can I do that in an Ursa rover? Which I thought was hilarious. So I was like, well, we're gonna use planets in the future, right? So we need to test, is there any way to get this box from there to there just using my Ursa rover planet side? No, not a fucking chance. I tested it, and every time I did, the boxes would fly out of my Ursa rover. There was no snap to grid function on the Ursa rover. I raised this with the devs. I said, look, hey, I've been testing this out, just so you know. I think you should probably look into it because it's an important point to raise. Instead of me saying, fix the fucking fact that this is fucking broken, you need to give constructive, it's not even criticism at this point. It's, I found something that you should probably take a look at in the functionality because I already know what game development is and I knew they were working on stuff for ages to do with the groundwork. So it's like, well, this is going to be important if we're going to do missions on the ground, right? It just is. Next thing you know, we get the mule, which I take credit for, by the way. Just saying. But anyway, I think there's a different ways to approach it, especially if the people who I know are working their asses off, if they see your post, fix the fucking game, and they see my post, which is, hey guys, this is a bit of a red flag in terms of game content and functionality. I'm pretty sure they're gonna look at mine and not ban me for it. Nice, concise, show the video, you know, etc.
because some of the bugs that and some of the like bad mechanics that were apparent even during the alpha stage of the game are still in the game and they haven't changed at all, and that's a serious issue. And I have played Squad. I still play it. There's a new update, and I gotta do a fucking video on it because that game is just amazing. But I have played Squad, and I have had similar, not the same, but similar experiences with the dev team. Because
Yeah, but each dev team is different though. I mean, that's also a thing. Like the culture of the people who work there, from leadership actually, is the main thing. Now, I would suggest to you that in terms of my understanding of people who work at CIGs, and I'm going to white knight or agree with them, the bugs don't mean that. Well, as long as the game doesn't break, they can be annoying bugs, but they can't fucking break the game in terms of, can I test this game? Can I test the game? Right? Am I able to do the functions that they've put in? Like, there's no point me testing PvP or PvE if I can't refuel my fucking ship, right? That's a game breaking bug as far as I'm concerned. If you can't refill your ship, that's a bug that needs fixing. Elevators, one or two being broken, depends where they are. You know, it depends where they are. Like I can tell you right now in 17.1, right now, you literally can't go into center mass. It just won't let the fucking elevator's stuck there. So you can't buy things from center mass. You just can't. Because the elevator is literally, there's two of them. There's a clone right there. So you press the button, call elevator, the door's open, another fucking elevator's stuck right there. Is that game breaking? Not really. It's annoying if you want to buy certain things from center mass, clearly. but doesn't break the game, which is my point.
If something is wrong, you want it to get fixed. But I'm gonna say this: in both cases, most of the bugs and most of the bad game mechanics were fixed in the next patch. Even though the communication between the community and the devs wasn't really on the level that we have with Star Citizen. So with Star Citizen, we have the issue council, and for some reason, I don't know, like people still don't know about the issue council, and probably because there's no link to it on the launcher, because that would be fucking amazing, right? Like.
It is. The issue council is literally on Spectrum. It's on the forum. I mean, you can literally just click on it. I mean, the launcher, you're expected, if you've downloaded the game, you're expected to read the web page. There's a forum right there. It's called Spectrum, and this is also a thing that I find which is really weird. People jump in the game, and it's like they never think. Like I watched the guy's video yesterday. He said I've played Star Citizen for the first time. Went in there fresh, right? Went in there completely fresh. Now, the thing that got me out of all of the things, like I'm not saying it's easy to play Star Citizen as a fresh player, but common sense. He literally seen the chat. He said, "Oh, that's global chat," and turned it off. Turned off global chat. He was sat there for ages trying to figure out how to get to a destination instead of just asking in chat, "Hey, how do I get to a planet?" There's multiple humans in that side chat that could help you. But his idea was turn it off. I don't want to listen to people who are actually playing the game as humans. That was a bit shocking. You know what I mean? Sometimes the mentality of the players who are playing and literally fucking alpha think it's a game because they watch YouTube content creators playing the game and think, oh, that looks like a nice game. They're aware of the bugs, but yet they still think it's a game. And like I just said, it ain't. It's a sandbox that's trying to be a game of some kind in terms of finished. But it can't be finished. It's an MMO. And if we're talking about builds, then you would consider each build. That's it. It's just a build. So I don't.
Just having that link there, and people would click on it and just like they would just want to see what it is, and then they would realize that yeah, this is actually useful and we can use it to help the developers. But here's the thing: what is the use of having an issue council if some of the bugs are just gonna be like non-recognized? If
Because there's no point in fixing pointless bugs if that's not the point of why we're developing the game. I mean, what's more important, giving you content or me fixing pointless bugs, which are probably gonna reoccur in the next patch cycle anyway? They're just not that important. The main game breaking bugs are important. That's true. Or crashes or server client clashes or whatever. They're they're the ones that annoy most of the Star Citizen community, in my humble opinion, that I've been playing with in terms of friends or whatever. Or you know, I've been playing this game for a long time. The bugs that annoy me the most are ones that break the game. Like proper break the game. Like you can't do this. Like take good instance, right? Or a good one. The Carrack, right? Great ship, but it's broken. Why is it broken? Well, if you take your Carrack and use your bed, right? And you log out on a planet, you can log back in. Your Carrack's still there. The moment you step out, your Carrack disappears. Poof, gone. Now that's a game-breaking bug to me in terms of why why would that ship have a bed for medical purposes, but you can't log out on it? It breaks the functionality of that one loop, right? So that for me is a game-breaking bug, in my opinion, anyway. But then we all know the character's not gonna fucking have a spawn point for much longer anyway.
Most of the bugs that are in the game are just gonna be like, yeah, well, we'll fix it at some point, or we're not gonna fix it because we're gonna rework the whole thing at some point, so you're just gonna be stuck with it for like 6 to 9 months or a year or 2 years or whatever. Like,
Yeah, but that's the point of the game, though. Well, I keep saying game. That's the point of why we're testing. Oh fuck, I'll just say game. It just makes it. It's an easy word. That's the point of the game, right? Or why we test it. You're gonna have to put up with annoying shit. It's a big ass sandbox that they're trying to add stuff to that has nothing to do with little bugs. I mean, it does, but as long as you don't break the game, you have to just get on with it. Would you rather have content added to the game, or would you rather the fucking lift work permanently and not kill you? I mean, Jesus, I flew into a planet just by not paying attention. It wasn't a bug, that was me. I've died more times by my own mistakes than bugs most of the time.
like
Like pressing the wrong button. And do you know how many times I've ejected out my own ship by mistake? Just by pressing the wrong button and going, oh, for fuck's sake,
what
Literally, I've died by forgetting to put my helmet back on after I drink water and run outside and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. And I'm like, oh, you stupid cunt, etc.
is the point of
Or flying away and forgetting that there's a mechanic in the game now where you actually need to drink water. Like, before I go on any missions now, at all, water and food, you're coming with me. When I first came in the game, I literally used to forget before I went doing what I was doing. Shit, I need water. Before that, it was Medipens or Oxypens. You have to get used to every iteration, And there was a fuck ton load more bugs back in the day. I mean, this feels like heaven compared to what we used to put up with.
having that, even though I must say that like having an issue console is a really big thing, and I have never seen a game or a game development team that actually made something like that, and that is just amazing to me. But what's the point in having that if most of the bugs are just gonna be shoved under the carpet, and the devs are just gonna say, yeah, we're gonna deal with that once we get to it?
Because they're not game breaking bugs. The vast majority of the bugs in the game are stupid little ones. Just they're more like glitches than bugs, right? They're more like glitches than bugs, I would say. Right? So if I was working for CIG, I'd feel the same. I'd be like, nah, just let's push out content, right? Content is more important. Game loops. If it's breaking a game loop, then yeah, it goes up the chain, clearly. Like refueling, that was a pain in everybody's ass for fuck knows how long, right? And now nobody whines about refueling because it works. But it took them a long time to get there. In terms of it worked, new patch, oh fuck, it's broke again, new patch, it works, fucking broke again. It was intermittent, right? Because they did a new build and it fucking broke the code again. Because they're trying all new kinds of weird shit and you don't know if one line of code affects this line of code. It's the way it works. It's game development. It's not game ready. Game development is to develop something, right? I mean, I don't know why people don't understand English. It's the same thing with the Banu Merchant and everyone's saying, that's not the concept art. Concept is an idea. It doesn't mean that's going to be what's in the fucking game. This is the vision for what we want. Doesn't mean it's going to be exactly the same. Like, literally, it doesn't.
And that's the end of it.
But that's just me with my game developer hat on. This is how I approach this one game specifically, with my game developer hat on. I don't play Counter-Strike and go, oh well, that's a bit dumb. Well, in fact, I do. Specifically, one map that I play, I do actually say that. Why would you put that there? If you stand on terrorist, if you're on T-spawn, you used to be able to look down, straight down. Now you have to go in the alleyway, drop down, go in the alleyway. Before, you could just shoot straight in, basically. But now you can't. Now you need to drop down. Don't know why. You still get shot in the alleyway. It makes it even easier because it's so narrow, which is weird. But whatever. Maybe it's a skill thing. I don't know. I'm not the developer of Counter-Strike. But you see the point, right? And that changed. How many people noticed that? Not many. I did, though.
What's the point in having any communication with the developers through Spectrum or through the issue console if they're just gonna disregard our screams, our outcries?
Yeah, but outcries is not the same as being useful. That's the thing. Like screaming in the forums, fix this fucking thing doesn't help anybody. Especially when most of the crying is for bugs that don't break the game. Like really, they just don't break the game. When it breaks the game, then you see the forums light up like refueling. That was so annoying. Got fixed, didn't it? Got fixed, broken, good, and now no one cries about it because it works. You know that lift at Sensor Mast, that's been broken since the previous patch. Been broke for 2 patches. Will it be fixed in 3.72? Fuck knows. Is it gonna stop me buying weapons? Not a chance. That's the point. It's not stopping me buying weapons, it's a fucking lift. I mean, if you go all the way to Sensimas and want to buy there specifically because they're on the shelves or whatever, then that's your own business, isn't it? I suppose. But it ain't breaking the game.
Like, we were asking for the Call ATC button for I don't know how many years. Like, for me, when I joined back in 2020, I was like, dude, is this really it? Can we really not fucking buying this like to a key on a keyboard or on our joysticks?
I can't stand the fact that they add that function only because of one reason. It literally bugs the fucking audio out, and nobody said anything about it bugging the audio. It says thank you for calling. I didn't call you. What are you? What? And then you get spammed, and then you have to do it twice. That's a bug, an annoying one. They should never have added it. Just use your mouse.
Like, that's just weird to me.
It's not. Just use your mouse. You still can land, right? What they should have done, which they tried to do, is just because I hate the landing in Star Citizen at all the well, apart from the landing pads, they're fine. But all the hangars, if you've got a big ship, are just fucking horrible. I'm gonna say that straight out. I fucking hate the hangars. All fucking hangars should be just murdered. Give us landing pads. The ships are too big and the hangars are too small. Have you ever tried to land a Carrack inside of a fucking hangar? That's just you need a PhD. Just say it's fucking bizarre.
But then I've heard that people were just like screaming at the developers for that for years. The search bar in the inventory system, we have the inventory system for like 9 months now, and we still don't have a search bar. That items don't really stack. I'm not gonna break any Evocati rules because I'm not in Evocati, and I just saw.
Things are coming. Quality of life. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Quality of life shit's coming. So stop bitching. You know, that's what I'm saying is I literally made a post only on Spectrum, not issue council, even though I've got access to a different forum because of the amount of money I've invested, right? I never post there once, ever. I use the normal Spectrum forum. If I think there's something that I feel that I've been literally testing needs attention, not the little gimmicky things, something that's a serious, well, this needs to be looked at, like boxes on vehicles on the ground. Nobody was doing that other than me. I literally made an entire series of Twitch videos, loads of them, going, it's why? And then I eventually was like, okay, this needs to be brought up because this is an issue. And lo and behold, the developers just didn't listen. They literally seen what I did and gave us a vehicle. So you can't say they're not paying attention. They clearly are paying attention, but you have to understand they're looking at different kinds of things when they're reading them forums. They're aware of all the bugs. They're not retards, you know. They're paying attention. But if you want to understand what they're trying to produce is content. A lot of people forget content. They just do. Game mechanics is one thing. Game content is another. Now, if you're going to say, well, we've got this much content coming, clearly you need a mechanic to go with it. A simple thing like making a vehicle you could make in a good developer by himself could make in a week, right? Make in a week and then pass it on to somebody else. They can do all the other bits to it, and then all the coders. So a month, 3 people, 4 people could make the meal in a month, right? Because they've looked at the forum. Like literally, there's 3 people work on planets. Three people make the entire planets. Pyro's planets have been ready for 2 years. They probably updated them with the other tech versions. That didn't take long.
The leak, so this is not breaking any NDAs because there's a leak, but there's gonna be a search bar in the new kiosks. But they're the same kiosk still, but they just added the search bar, which is like, thank you for listening to the community. But let's talk about our standards. In the next patch, we're gonna get the derelict reclaimers, and that is just a point of interest. That is like, we're gonna also have nav meshing, but we'll see how it's gonna work because we currently don't know. But that's not really a big thing. It's just like, it's just a point of interest.
No, it's a massive thing. What they're doing is they're basically putting bunkers on the surface of planets. The surface layer of the planet is not the same thing as building your own little box containers and putting NPCs in them. It just isn't the same. And I can't say this because it was on, I think it was Friday that they released it. So I kinda am allowed to say this. There's different missions, and there's more points of interest than you think. And the reason why they call them points of interest is because there's missions to go with them. The NPCs are literally going to change depending on what mission you take. Just saying.
And that's it. In the current patch, we had everything completely fucking broken. Like, the game is unplayable. I haven't played it since the patch dropped. I was just like there during Invictus, made my money, and fucked off. I just couldn't bear trying to play this game when the game doesn't want to fucking be played.
But again, I would say your expectations are too high. I wouldn't say the standards are too low. You know, just saying. I just think I think you're I think you got about it the wrong way in terms of understanding it. Hold on a second. Right, let's get back to it.
And that's it. But there were no hot fixes that would fix the issues, the glaring issues of this patch. Like, none at all. And the only thing that you can do is like PvP around Grimhex or get a crime stat and PvP wherever, and that's it. But that's just fucking...
No, you can mine. I mean, you could do a lot of other things in the game. I'll give you a good instance at 17.1, right? A very annoying bug, and it's also, I think it's a server-side bug though when it comes to the tick rates or whatever. A very interesting bug is eating and drinking, right? So if you go mining or whatever, you know, you're going to be out for a while or whatever doing your mining. So you need your food and drink. If you're on a old server, shall we say, or an old server, you literally can't eat or drink unless you literally go to a kiosk and buy it, because your guy just won't move. And it's actually to do, which I think's weird, a suit. The Kovlek armor literally won't let you eat and drink when you've got it on. Take it off, seems to work better. Don't know why. Maybe it's an animation bug. Who knows? But that's a bug that's annoying. And it's still there. Like I said, the lift bug has been there for 2 patches. You literally can't get into center mass. Good luck.
Like, to me...
But it doesn't break the entire game though. You can still go mining. Mining's glitchy as well. It takes me forever to pick up the roids sometimes. When they explode, they go everywhere. It takes me like 10 minutes to collect them. I wish mine, the little rocks like Hedanite, was the exact same way that you would mine a big rock. Instead of these little diamonds. The diamonds are fucking annoying.
It got boring. It got really fucking stale and boring, and I just had to like take a chill pill for a month or a couple of months and not play the game because fuck's sake, dude. Like after playing.
Okay, this is the difference between me and him. I don't actually play the game in the way a lot of people do. I only turn Star Citizen on when I feel there's an actual issue with it, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's an issue, then I will go and test it if I think there's an issue, which is worthy of my attention and time.
3, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then 17, and then 17.1, and 3.12, and 3.11, I think. I'm good. I'm good. Like all of the patches that got released since I started playing this game were like bad. Basically, they were just
They're supposed to be bad. That's what we test the game. This is the point of both game development. They're supposed to be bad. That's the point. If you play this game and you think, "Oh, what's going on here? Bugs and yes, that's the point. It's game development. It's not CIG, right? And this is not even a joke. CIG could literally stop at Stanton right now, today. Stop, just make contact, fix all the bugs, and say you're only getting this, and we'll fix all the bugs for you, and that's it. Would you be happy with that on a live server? While the PTU gets everything else. Now that's a choice that they make. You could add all the crazy stuff to the PTU and let the PTU be on a separate server, which they're gonna do. I think it's July next month. And I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea.
just getting like worse and worse for some reason. And let's concentrate on one thing. For example, for you that played prior to 3.17, DreamHacks had its elevators completely broken. And
I remember playing the game when it was just my hangar on a ship. And that was it. Oh wow, I can look at my ship. Like that was literally it.
they would be just like double elevators, and that wasn't fixed for like a year or maybe more. I know that it wasn't fixed for a year, and the reasoning was, yeah, well, we're gonna rework the whole thing, so we're not gonna fix it. I don't know if they're broken again in this batch. I have no idea because I'm.
No, I tell you, the one, like I just said, at Centermast, has been fucked for 2 patches. It was working before in the previous other patch. Don't know why. At least we don't get double trains anymore. That was fucking annoying. Just, like, remember double trains, anybody? The doors wouldn't open when the train came. It was so bizarre.
Not playing this patch. I would imagine that they fixed them, but like, what do I know? Like, are they gonna stay like that or are they gonna break? I know that the other elevators were completely fucked up now, and yeah, the elevators are always a fucking issue in Star Citizen for some reason. And when is that gonna get addressed? What is the issue? Then
99% of when I play this game, in fact, 99% minus sensor mass. All the elevators work. All of them. I think there's maybe 2 that takes that don't load on New Babbage. I think there's 2, but the rest of them work in terms of not a black box. But the rest of them do work though. I haven't come across a blocked one yet. I've come across empty ones, but I think that's a loading issue. But I've only noticed 2 of them, and they're the New Babbage, if memory serves me correctly. But like I said, there's about 10 of them anyway, so just pick a different one. The fucking elevators still work. The only one that literally you can't use is Centermass, as far as I'm aware anyway.
We have the NPCs that are not even fucking standing on chairs anymore. They're just levitating. They're just like a
Just ignore the NPCs. I do. I mean, who fucking cares? They don't say anything. They don't do anything. They're just there so it's not empty. I mean, I would rather just switch the fucking things off. They're probably taking up RAM on my computer or server. Just turn them off. Just literally turn them off.
ending. Like
I mean, that's my opinion, but I don't know. I don't know how the coded it. I turn them off.
it's the fucking second coming.
I remember they turned them off when it comes to interdiction. I fucking hated interdiction. I'm glad they turned that off. Like, having great ideas and implementing it in the game, there's pros and cons, right? Do you know what I mean? Interdiction's one of the main ones. Now, apparently, they might be coming back in 18. Not sure. Not sure. But who knows? Maybe. I hope not. I fucking hope not. I hated them. But we'll see when PES gets implemented. I think they're probably going to do it on the PTU. Or, well, yeah, they're probably just on the PTU. But I hope they don't come back. What I want is new missions and quality of life. That's all I'm interested in terms of how to get a more fun, stable patch. And it's not going to be perfect, but I just want a more fun, stable patch. Because I'll tell you the reason why all the YouTubers, I mean big YouTubers, fucking huge ones, you know, not to mention the old guys who've been playing for ages who've got like quality content or whatever. But the YouTubers, the big new guys, the only reason why that's a thing is because we have persistence, or semi-persistence, right? And I know for a fact that that's one of their main things is to not wipe the servers. Just give people the idea that the universe is doing something and you can achieve something while testing the game. Right? Like if I had a bank balance of 0 in the game, it wouldn't stop me from testing the game. Because I know having 0 in that game, well, if you got a starter ship and you've got no money, depending on what starter ship you got clearly, you could make money then, that day. And then, let's say it takes you 2 months, you could buy another ship, or a month you can buy a ship. I know that that ship's going to be there come the next patch cycle. I'm not too sure about this year. I'm pretty, I would say 70-80% sure there's going to be a wipe soon this year. Um, which you know, that's fun, I suppose. But I don't grind in the game. I've got enough money, but then I've got enough ships. But for people who are new who want to play the game, knowing that you can work towards something is always a nice thing. Disclaimer alert: you won't get to keep your ship when it gets wiped. So people are like, what's the point of that? And that's the problem with game development hat. It's not the same as I want to play a game hat, right?
And like, do we need? Because here's the thing: they were standing on chairs for quite a while, and then Chris Roberts' daughter played the game, and she was like, "Dad, why the fuck are the NPCs?" Well, she didn't swear because she's not an asshole like I am, but. Why are the NPCs standing on chairs? That's like breaking immersion. And then I guess that Chris like screamed at somebody and they fixed the NPCs and they were fixed for like one more patch. And then they got even more broken for the next patch and then the next patch. And now they're just fucking levitating.
Which I don't care about. I mean, this is the point. When you're a child, you think a game should work, more or less. It should. Right, you're paying for it, but that's not this game. That's not this thing.
You go to an 890 jump mission and the NPCs spawn outside of the 890 jump and you can't finish it.
I got killed day before yesterday in a mission where the NPCs were literally just running. They weren't even running around. They were just like standing there for me to kill them. But this one particular NPC decided, oh no, I'm gonna actually work. Fuck knows why. Didn't even notice the little fucking cunt. Popped up behind the fucking railings, capped me in the fucking head. I was like, wow, that NPC knew what it was doing. I was shocked. Just saying. It was like the second to last NPC as well, which is fucking funny.
Most of the box
I literally, I literally turned off the game at that point because I was like, okay, I'm not doing fucking these fucking missions because I can't. The only reason why I don't like doing the missions is because I know the AI's broke, and I know I'm gonna lose my shit, right? But it's not the fact that I've lost my shit. It's the fact that it takes so much time to get back to where I just been to get my shit back. So I go mining before I do missions, right? So if you do a mining stint, make it like 200k or whatever. I mean that's overkill. Let's say 150 or even 100k, right? You just do an hour mining. I know not everybody's got like an hour to burn doing mining, but if I go mining, I will literally buy gear specifically just to go and lose it. Fuck cave missions though, they're too fucking annoying. I'm not doing cave missions. They're fun, but just the caves are so big. I'm like, oh, which way am I going? I keep forgetting. So yeah, I don't get me wrong though. If you do cave missions and you got the patience for them, i.e., finding your way back out again, they're actually very lucrative. I will say that, very lucrative.
missions are broken. Most of the game is broken. And I know that there is somebody right now typing, like rage typing on the
No one's race typing, but I'm definitely reacting to your video. So
fucking keyboard in the comment section telling me that it's still an alpha, and if I don't know how to play an alpha,
I know what he's gonna say.
I shouldn't play one. Like,
No, it's not that you shouldn't play one. It's just you shouldn't get so ragey about it. Gotta have a certain mentality to play this game, in my opinion, because it's not a game. And this is my only disagreement. It's not a game. It pretends to be one, but it isn't.
first off, did you play any other alphas ever?
Yep, I alphaed fucking Battlefield 1942 actually, back in the day, because I was a pro gamer. But whatever. Alphaed Quake 3 Arena back in the day, and Spice Girls, which is fucking.
Because I have, and I was like working on like smallish games. I was doing sound design and all that. It's not really important. It's not nowhere close to Star Citizen, of course. And I can say that I know a thing or two about like how things are developed, and even just.
Well, I mean, saying how things are developed is not the same as playing the game. Another misconception is, as someone who's actually made, what's it made? As someone who's done game development, shall we say, right? Qualified to do it. There's a lot more that goes on in terms of time allocation. Like, I could make an asset, right? Fucking best asset ever. And then be told after like 40 hours of work, yeah, we don't need that yet. And I'm like, I just spent 40 hours doing that. Yeah, just do that instead. Are you sure? Yeah. Fuck, I need a beer when I get home then.
Being an alpha tester of a few games, and there were more, but like I have mentioned two, they're really big.
Yeah, but try making a fucking game. Don't test it. Try making one. Game development isn't you fucking playing what I just built. I'm developing it. You're testing to see if it works. Just saying.
And like I know how it should work, and Star Citizen is just not working like that.
Okay, this is mad. I think you're confusing two different aspects of what's going on here. You're on the back end, where the developers are on the front end, right? In terms of they're doing the development. You're testing their development. It's your job. It's an alpha. You can say this should probably get a look at, but they don't prioritize in terms of who wants the most. They prioritize on what's the direction of the game for this quarter or that quarter, and how do we see the future of content? This game right now, I know this for a fact, is not going to be, in fact, this year is only going to be focused on content. That's it. More shit to do and quality of life. Until next year. That's it. That's all you're getting. Content. There's no weird mechanics coming in terms of anything I can say. But it's just going to be mostly content and quality of life. That's it. Which is a good thing because it keeps the player base itself will, one, stay, because if I'm going to put myself in the position, I wouldn't say of Chris Roberts clearly, but in terms of the head of a dev team or whatever, or even like Chris Roberts, I don't want to wipe the servers, but it might be necessary, right? But I wouldn't want to. Now, why would I split the PU with the PTU? Why would I do that? Because wiping the servers, unless ultra necessary, is going to put a downer on everybody who's worked hard to make money in the game. And they're not the people like me who play it, who don't give a fuck about money, right? It's the people who are just new to the game and expect the game to stay as it is in terms of persistence, right? They're the people you want to keep. Not the people like me. I'm not going anywhere, right? I'm not a whale or anything, but I'm not going anywhere. I've contributed enough where I'm satisfied with how I can contribute to testing the game, because that's the only reason why I play it in terms of mechanics or whatever. So the people you want to keep are the new people, and there's fuck tons of new people who have joined. I think this is the biggest influx in Star Citizen when it comes to YouTubers I've seen ever in its entire cycle. Biggest. And I think it's due to persistence. You can earn ships in game, and a lot of YouTubers who play, I'm guessing 99% of them would say the same. The biggest key, or the key milestone in terms of attracting new players is the fact that you can buy ships in game. You don't need to spend all the money that some of us have spent, right? You can grind your ass off and get them in game. I mean, I forgot the last time we had a wipe. It was that long ago.
Things should get.
And that's only good for players who are new. Wouldn't affect me if we had a wipe. Like I said, I don't give a fuck about the money in game anyway.
Better, not worse.
Because it's easy to make. I mean, the economy's out of fucking whack. Always has been.
Things should get fixed in each patch, and once you get a bunch of things fixed for each patch, you're gonna have a better experience. But
yeah, but that's not how it works, though. That's what I'm saying. If I fix one thing over there, that might have an adverse effect on that thing over there. It just will. Knowing how game development works, it's like, oh, this is a great idea. Should we put that in? Yeah. Oh shit, it's just broke that thing over there. It's like, oh fuck's sake. So we need to take it out. Interdiction. Just saying.
let's take a step back and
It was garbage. But the intent was to make you going from A to B a bit more interesting. It wasn't interesting, it was fucking annoying. So they removed it.
talk about the.
Let's talk about Levski. Levski was just a placeholder. Everyone was sad to see it go, but we all knew it shouldn't have been there anyway. It's in a different system. Freed up space on the server to add more content. You know, good.
Games that I was an alpha tester of. For example, I can talk about Squad. In Squad, there was an issue. This was like the funniest bug ever. You would have the grenade launcher that's like mounted under the M4, and you could shoot like under your feet, and you wouldn't really rocket jump, but you would just fling yourself across the fucking map and die somewhere because of the fall damage. But yeah, next patch, it was out. It was just fixed. And whatever got broken in Squad, it was fixed for the next patch.
Yeah, but Squad isn't the same developer. This is the thing, you're comparing different games. Don't do that. It's just bad. Y- Comparing games is not how it works. Though. That's another mistake. Took 10 years to make Half-Life for fuck's sake. Two.
There
It's required a new fucking engine.
are some things that are probably not fixed yet, but most of it got fixed, and we can't really say that about Star Citizen.
Yes, we can. Most. This game is literally. I would say 317 is the literal. We for people who back Star Citizen, right, from the from the get go. We wish this would have been what they released on day one. Just saying. Here's your game, get on with it. Right? That would be happy times. That's not how the cookie crumbled though.
Because each patch will break something else, as we know.
Just said that, right? So then there's no point in bitching about it that our standards are too low if you know it's gonna happen. Just don't set your expectations so high where then you need to make a video going, well, our fucking standards are too low. No, that's your expectation.
And as we have experienced. But if you neglect bugs from previous patches, those are just gonna accumulate. And this game is getting bigger and bigger, and currently it is already really big. And when do you
Massively big.
think that CAG is gonna fix all the bugs? In
They won't. It's you can I can play any game and there's still bugs in them from multiple patches. Code is not perfected. Like it just isn't. Get hotfixes, but you will always get bugs in games. You just will.
how many
You get bugs in software.
years from now? If it takes them like a year to 18 months to make a capital ship, if it takes them 4 or 5 years to like give us an core ATC button, how many years do you think that it would take them to get rid of most of the bugs? I don't know. Like,
You just mentioned three. We still got an elevator bug. Literally, 3 patches still there. How many patches since fucking God knows when didn't refueling work? I mean, that bug has been there for forever. Thankfully now, it actually is fixed. Until the next patch and it'll probably fucking break again. But that's just the way it is. That's kind of the beauty of the madness of the way this game's being made, I would say. You know, people who want a pre-made game, go play a pre-made game. I mean, I just fired up fucking X Rebirth or some shit. And that shit was buggy as fuck when it first came out. You know, that was a terrible game when it first came out. Patched the fuck out of it. But as a single player game, it's easy to patch single player games. It's not easy to patch MMOs. It just isn't. There's a lot of things that go into an MMO, and it is very much back end at that point.
the game is just growing larger and larger, and it's gonna be really hard to like track all the bugs and fix all the bugs, and most of them are for some reason intertwined somehow, and I guess it's pretty normal that.
Oh no, think about it, right? The game hasn't got that much bigger. We're still confined to the Stanton system, which is the only system in the game. Now, if you compare let's say we get Pyro, right, hypothetically, and Pyro's there, right? First of all, I know what's going to be the issue straight away. Fucking jump gates. Getting from one system to the other, that's going to be the major bug. You probably fucking die or some shit on the way there. Right, let's say that's not an issue though. Right. And Pyro's a thing. The same bugs that plague the Stanton system will clearly be in Pyro. Elevators, for instance. Right? But does that stop you traveling to Pyro? No. Does it stop you interacting with mission givers? No. Does it stop you getting shot by a PvP player? No. Game breaking bugs is what's the problem. Game breaking bugs. The minutia of the bugs ain't the problem in terms of which one's the worst. It's the game breaking ones that are frustrating, like refueling. Getting in a lift that kills you, okay, it's annoying. It doesn't break the game unless you get in a lift. It kills you. but that's not technically game breaking, in my opinion.
If you change like a font on the coal elevator, think that it's gonna break the fucking elevator completely for some reason because you changed something and you didn't like look at the whole code and it just broke everything. But like, when are they gonna resolve all of that? And then on top of that, you have ships that you pay for like $750 fucking dollars, 700 whatever. You have the C2, A2, M2, the A2.
Carrick, just mentioned that earlier. Carrick's a good example. What you do? Don't log out on your fucking Carrick. Know what the bug is, avoid it. Oh, right there, list of bugs. Every time they release a patch, bug notes. This doesn't work, that doesn't work, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. They already know, they're making the game, they know all the bugs. It's which ones are game breaking. You know, you got a list of which ones are fucking annoying at this point, right? Which ones are annoying? But they're at the end of the day they're truncated over there, right? That's a thing that we look at. But the main focus isn't there. The main focus is content. We're trying to produce a product, right? So we need to provide content. The content gets put in the game, then we resolve the game breaking bugs. The annoying ones, we don't fucking care. We just don't. I wouldn't.
Which is the most expensive ship, the fucking elevator is still broken. Like, you can use it, but it doesn't look good. It breaks immersion, but you paid, I don't know how.
Here's the thing, right? Connie is most iconic ship in the game in terms of one of the oldest ships, right? The front lift on the Connie is the dumbest lift on the planet in the game. Why would you ask? Well, first of all, you need to click on the floor. Let's say you're doing a box mission for some fucking odd reason, right? In a Connie, which I've done many times. You can literally, or you have to, literally point down, wiggle around, and click lift, like go up. When actually, there should be a little panel right there to click lift up. Instead of fucking around looking at your feet. Well-known issue on the Connie. Has been since it was developed. It's the stupidest lift on the Connie. In fact, on any ship, in my opinion. It doesn't have a fucking thing on the side that says up or down. You literally have to look at your feet. When was the last time that was an immersion thing? Right? They're pretty aware of this, but they're not going to fix it. Why? Why? Because they already know it's not a priority. It's stupid. Immersion breaking. Probably didn't think of it when they introduced the fucking whole inner thought system. Like, we should. In fact, they probably did and was just like, fuck it, we'll just leave it as it is. Until we refactor the ships. Which they're going to do anyway. So I'm expecting that to change. Thankfully. I mean, a lot of the ships are going to get reworked anyway. In fact, I would say 90% of the ships in the game are going to get refactored to gold standard, which is i.e. the components. So it's an ongoing thing with the ships, to be fair.
Like $700 for a ship that doesn't work properly. Then you have the reclaimer, you can't even fucking access most of the areas most of the time in most of the patches because, yeah, fuck it, well, we forgot. And then it's just gonna accumulate.
You don't forget, it's just there's loads of teams working on different things.
And in the end, we're just gonna have a broken piece of shit experience like we do have right now. But
I don't call it. I think, in my humble opinion, this is a really good patch. I mean, not everyone works in terms of what I test. But I don't test the same way some other people. People play the game and get annoyed. I don't. I test the game for things that I think are important. Like ground missions. Just saying.
Here's the thing, it's only gonna get worse before it gets better, and that's what I said in one of my videos a few weeks ago, because they are currently working on server meshing, and then they're probably gonna do some bug smashing and all that. They will probably do some bug.
They've been working on server meshing for fucking 5 years.
fixes for
at least.
17.2, but we know CAG and we know Star Citizen and we know that it's still going to be broken in some way that we can't really expect, basically. And then, on top of that, they add a point of interest and everybody goes, wow. They add an event and everybody goes like apeshit. For 5 or 6 years now, they have delayed salvage. They have delayed a bunch of major game loops that were promised back in 2016, as far as I remember.
So was mining. So was flying your fucking ship. There's loads of things that they've promised that take time. It just takes time.
Maybe it was 2017, but they have delayed all of that, and we're still waiting on salvage. And salvage in the end is just gonna be beams, whatever, because it's easy. But like,
But it's not easy if you're the guy who makes the fucking ships. Like, think about it, right? The same people who make the ships, someone comes into their office and says, oh, remember that salvage thing that we told you? And he was like, oh, not this, please no. Yeah, salvage. Where's the art team? Can you bring them over for me, please? Hey guys, we need you to destroy all the ships that you made. Go through it all again. Break your ships into little tiny bits. Or come up with a concept of how we take data from the ships. Where's the coding, guys? Guys, come here a minute. You need to code into the game values for ships. Are you taking the piss? Nope. Go away and look at it. That's exactly what he did. That is not easy. For all the teams involved, and there are only 3 that come to my mind. The people who made the ships, the modelers, have to go back to their ships and go, oh fuck. You really want me to redo this when we know we're gonna do the gold standard? Yep. So you want me to do this twice? Now, just for content? Yeah. And then again when we add components? Yeah. So make 2 models of the ship, please. Okay.
are our standards that fucking low that we get amused and amazed and excited about points of interest? About
Yes. I do. Because it's content. That's a good game. A game developer's job is to provide you with shit you can test. And that's what your job is, not to play the game like it's a game. Your job is to test the game. Test. Q&A. Some things might get fixed, some things mightn't get fixed. It depends on what the content team are doing. They're the most important team in CIG. Content. Trust me on that.
the same box missions, but you do them if you have a crime stat.
And the guys who are working on persistence. I think they're probably just as valuable at this point.
How low
in terms of the company making money.
are our standards? And then there's another guy rage typing, well, yeah, they're focusing on Squadron 42, but they
That's never concerned me. Squadron 42 has never concerned me. Ever. I see Squadron 42 as a completely separate entity. If I was testing Squadron 42, it'd be a lot easier. A lot easier. It's a single player experience.
they are taking our
The only thing that's the difference is that they're gonna try and link it to the PU, which is then that's got to do with narrative at that point. So that's up to the writers and shit like that, and the people who make the law.
money for Star Citizen. You're paying for ships for Star Citizen, and you can pay for Squadron 42, and you can buy it on the website if you wanted to. And I believe that money, like the money that you paid for Squadron 42, should have went into Squadron 42 development. The other
Yeah, but it is. But they're doing it at the same time. They're taking the assets. I mean, they're only doing it now. That's a caveat. They're only doing it now. I mean, to be fair, Chris Roberts has took the hardest choice. I wouldn't say. Yeah, I would say so. He wants to make his old game that he always envisaged in the days of Microsoft, which you can watch. He's always wanted to make that game. But he's always loved the idea of MMOs because he's a fucking MMO. He plays fucking Eve, and I know he plays Eve, right? He wants the Eve experience slash freelancer, literally, but even with bigger balls.
Like all the other money should have went into Star Citizen, and all the other developers should have went into Star Citizen because
Yeah, but why when you can use the same assets, right? All the same people who work on this. The only team ish that I would say is different is the back end teams when it comes to server and stuff for MMOs. But when it comes to assets and AI, there's going to be like three teams that change that perspective. You know, like I said, one's online, the other one's a single player game. The single player game is actually easier to make, but because of the level of what he wants from the single player game is different than I mean, he wants to make something crazy with Squadron 42, and rightly so. It's his baby, right? But he also is like, oh, we could use the same assets to make an MMO. Makes sense. I mean, you're killing two birds with one stone at that point. Like I said, the most expensive part of CIG is probably the coders and the MMO side of things. Squadron 42 is just a bunch of nerds like me making assets. That's pretty fucking easy.
we are
Well, it's not, but you get the point.
buying ships for Star Citizen.
I can import that ship from Squadron 42 right over. Same engine, same tools, same shit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you find Deadlicks in fucking Squadron 42 at this point. But in fact, all the assets would be, I would use them both.
We are pledging, we are giving them our money, we're helping them out to make the game of our dreams, not the game of our nightmares. The game of our lucid, immersive, happy, joyful, whatever dreams, not nightmares.
I think it was three. I think it wasn't even three. Was it 3.0? My org synchronizers, by the way, or sync, whatever. I remember it was buggy as fuck. I was getting about 10 FPS. God, give or take 10 FPS. Fucking hell, it was lower than that. But I was with a bunch of friends. Shout out. And I literally shot this guy by mistake. But it's one of the best nights I've had playing Star Citizen by far. And it's the buggiest fucking patch by far. I think it was 217 or something fucking insane anyway. Or just before 3.0. It was crap. But you know what made it fun? The people who were playing with me. Because we know it was buggy. I was crashing every 5 minutes. I only had like fucking what, 8 gig of memory. No, in fact I had 16 gig of memory and it used to literally take it all out of my computer. I'd have like 1% RAM after I loaded the game. And I was on a hard drive, a mechanical one. It was fucking awful. Fucking awful. But I still had the best game experience because of them guys. It was fucking hilarious. Just the fact that it was so buggy was the funniest bit about it. That's for me a good experience in terms of like enjoying it. Not because what it was, what it can be. If that's what it can be when it's a fucking buggy mess. And I think about the patch now. Oh my days.
But currently we have a nightmare. And
Clearly not. Clearly not.
like that nightmare is just gonna expand, and I hope that the new Manchester office is gonna fix all of that, and that like there are gonna be more people that are gonna work on Star Citizen.
The Manchester office is literally for Squadron 42. Literally. It's to get all the people in-house for Squadron 42. 2025, here we come.
But you never know with CAG. They might just like get all those people and make them work on Squadron 42, or
That's exactly what they're gonna do. Because they know they'll make a killing. Up a single player Star Citizen with AI that's literally doing what it's supposed to do. Unlike the MMO versions, which is just fucking placeholders, to be fair. I mean, seriously, making a single player game is not the same as an MMO. MMOs is fucking hard work, man. very hard work. I'll give you a good example. Fallout 76.
The sequel to Squadron 42, because yeah, like it's
Battlefield fucking 2042. I mean, the list goes on of the amount of shitty multiplayer games that AAA companies have literally charged you $60 for that are supposed to be finished. Even a single player game was broken when it came out, which I was literally hyped for. Cyberpunk. Fucking disaster.
it's Chris's dream, and that's it. So the main question here is if our standards are too low, and I can
No, your expectations are too high.
say that our standards are too low because we don't have data running, we still don't have salvage. It's just around the corner, but it was around the corner for fucking 5-6 years now. We don't have exploration. There's no point in having land vehicles. We don't have
Not yet. Wink, wink. The mule's got a bigger brother. That's all I'm gonna say. The mule is and was gifted as a test. The mule's got a bigger brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
passenger
And no, that's not a leak. That's me telling you. As a game developer, it's got a bigger brother.
transport. Piracy is barely working. It is
You don't need Sherlock Holmes at this point. It's just if you've never worked in terms of game development, you can't see what they're doing. That's why, because you've never actually been in an environment where storyboards and all that shit's used. You don't. If you can't see what they're trying to do in terms of this year, you're missing the point. I know exactly what they're doing this year. I know, and you're not going to get Pyro till next year, by the way. That's for sure. Pyro ain't coming till next year. CitizenCon next year. That's when you get Pyro. Proper Pyro. I'm going to tell you that as a fact. Pyro will be CitizenCon next year and not a moment before.
currently not working. We have
Same with the Bandit Merchantman next year. CitizenCon.
no racing. We have no farming. We have no homesteads. We have like 90%.
No, all these things are ideas that can be implemented, right? Think about farming. I'll give you one a good example, right? The same mechanic we use for mining or picking shit up off the floor and storing it in your backpack, they could easily put that in the game tomorrow if they chose to. They could put farming in the game tomorrow. But what's the point? What would be the fucking point? Right now, what would be the point?
Of this game is not done yet, and it's been 11 years now because they had to have something to show for the Kickstarter. Therefore they were working on it a year prior to the Kickstarter, so it's gonna be like 11 years now. And like then we get a river and everybody gets fucking excited, and then the river is trash, but everybody's still excited because
God, I don't know. This guy's so fucking negative, isn't he?
they can see some progress, but it's like snail pace. And what happened to science? What happened to smuggling? What happened to whatever? Like, there's a lot of things that they announced and that are just around the corner, but they're not. And then we get excited for, I don't know, selling.
Yeah, but just around the corner in fucking game development, you get it when you get it, right? Like the amount of ideas I've come up with and shit and fucking things that I thought, oh yeah, that'd be great. Implementing it and then you go, oh shit, that's actually fucking dumb. It's just the way it works. It's organic. You know, game development is very organic. You can think you've got the best idea in the world and then you put it in the game and it's fucking trash. Interdiction.
Items to shops.
I mean, that's my biggest fucking point about this game. If you want to know and understand game development, interdiction. Just saying.
Which, like most of the games,
Fucking garbage.
in the past 10 years have.
But is the idea 100% legit? Fuck yeah. As someone who plays Eve, fuck yeah. What bubbles for the win, bitches. But is it necessary? All these ideas that CIG have got, does it actually fucking help if we put it in the game? Right now? No. Try it. Yeah, try it. Does it work though? Is it something that's sustainable?
Because like
Introduction we had from fucking, oh wow, God, pirates gonna kill us all when we fly from A to B. Yeah, with lag, buggy fuckers that they were.
it's just normal to have that, and it's not a big thing to implement that. But we get really excited about that, and we get excited about the fucking river, and we go and look at the river from our Carracks, from our $600 Carracks that have no fucking game loops for them. And like, if
I'm pretty sure you can do cargo running in a Carrack. Not that you'd want to, but you can. Because I did. Until I melted it. Just saying. And that's the beauty of, like, you're not mentioning anything. You spent 700. Okay, right. I give you one caveat to that, to be fair. Prices of the ships do go up. Now, I think that's unfair in terms of what you get back. If you, like, let's say you buy a Carrack or whatever. I mean, it's so weird. Okay, let's take the Banu Merchantman, fucking prime example, right? The Banu was first on sale for what, $200 or shit, and now it's like 700 and fucking something dollars, right? Now, to be fair, inflation, I get it, but I think that should be gifted as a free thing if you originally pledged for it, but you couldn't be arsed waiting and melted it. I think there should be a special option to go, no, I'd like my Banu back, thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? Just saying. Sorry about that, I have to take a piss. Anywho,
if you say that our standards are not that low because there's 8k rice in Klesher or 8k towels in the Carrack, then I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I really don't. And in the end, somebody's gonna also rage type in the comment section and tell me that I'm just whining and that I'm just being a dick.
I'm just gonna say
and that's it, and I'm not constructive at all. But here's the thing, like, here's how you solve it. You go to the issue council, you report the bugs, you upvote the bugs that are already reported, and then you go to Spectrum and then you fight and you tell the developers that this is not enough, and you brigade them whenever you can during live streams or whatever, and you tell them that this is not enough, we need more, and like then they will probably get like more people working on Star Citizen, and then in the end we're gonna have a better experience. That's how you do it. You can't vote with your money because there's always gonna be new players that are gonna have new money, and there's always gonna be new money coming in, and that's it. Like, there is no boycott. Like, that does not work. That never fucking works ever anywhere in the fucking world. Even if your government is like exploiting you and your bills are too high because they just want to fucking get your money and that's it, calling people for a boycott is not gonna work because people are still gonna, like, at least 50% of the people are still gonna pay the bills, and then the rest is gonna like either go to jail or they're gonna have to pay the price for not paying the bills. And that's how it works. So like, boycotting and voting with your wallet does not work. Voting with your throat, voting with your fingers, that works. and that's how it is. On top of that, if you don't see Spectrum as a place where you should post or a place where like anything is gonna get done, you can do it on YouTube. You can make your own channel. You can brigade the YouTubers that have some influence, because they are influencers, and you can tell them, hey, like, please, you don't even fucking need to be rude. First off, don't be rude. Like, that's my job. My job is to be abrasive and rude. So just let me be that. You be polite, and you just go to the YouTubers' channels or Spectrum or whatever you want to, and tell them that we need more, that we need to see more progress, that we are not satisfied, and that our standards are not really that fucking low that we're gonna get excited about a fucking river or an event with broken NPCs, because that is just not enough.
Okay, I'll give you a good example of how you actually operate, right? So let me just show you something, right? Now I'm gonna show you the post that I did, right? And this is from last year, by the way, just so you know. So I just want you to see this, right? This is why you get the vehicle like the mule, right? Pardon my shitty writing or whatever. Right. What's the topic there? Shit, I should probably make it a bit better to see. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna make it a bit better. So I want to actually see it instead of being a fucking a weird place. And just remember the date as well on this thing. I just want you to remember the date. Right. I know we're in July, nearly. Right. What does that say at the top? Ground vehicle team, heads up. That's just saying, hey, so anyone who's making ground vehicles, little heads up for you, right? Hi. Now, before you read and watch, this is not a requirement as such yet, right? I'm merely pointing out this is pretty interesting. You should probably take a look at this, guys, right? Now, I thought I'd bring it to someone's attention. Any dev that deals with boxes. So you got two teams here. You got the mission givers, right, who deal with the box missions, and you got the guys who are working on the ground vehicles, right? That's two separate teams. I was looking into something, not fix the fucking game, it's broken. No, I was looking into something, which I was. I was like, oh, that's missions, etc. Right? Now, I made a bunch of vids, right? Here's the video, there's the evidence of what I'm about to explain, right? And I'll read this. I mean, you can see it on the screen, but I'll just read it for you anyway. I came across something funny, which I found it was, because I was trying it, and like, the videos were hilarious that I was making, to be honest with you. I spent hours doing this, by the way, not 10 minutes, hours. And I died about 1 billion times, by the way, just so you know. I just literally did. Fuck. And it's not that I died on purpose. I couldn't retrieve the fucking boxes, which is crazy. But anywho, uh, it's a bug or a glitch, right? Now, a bug would be something that's broken. A glitch would be something that's fixable in terms of there's an easy way to fix this, right? So that's why I said bug or a glitch, because I wasn't too sure which one it was at this point, because I am not a coder. It's the coders who fix this shit, not the model team or whatever. So every time I wanted to take a box from A to B, I'd have to travel really slow, like I'm talking like 1 mile an hour slow, right? Um, uh, when it would come to flying, uh, the boxes would come flying out the back of these things, right? Where I was trying to stick them. So what I'd do is I'd go to my mission, 20 grand by the way. These are the 20 grand missions, the old Coblex ones, which they removed. And I was like, okay, put it in my fucking rover. I'm happy, right? It's in my rover. Can't literally go anywhere. It's gonna, you know, no, right? So anywhere to put them. I literally the only successful time, well, I wouldn't say successful, the longest period of time that it managed to work is when I stuck them under the seat, which I didn't show that, but I should have probably showed that, but they fixed it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I know you guys are working on roads, which they are, but I think that's from settlements, though. I think that's something to do with the mission team. So I don't, Anywho, this is different. I'm not allowed to say a lot of stuff. I know a lot of shit, but whatever. Anywho. Um, so, but off-road is still pretty fun, right? Because there's a planet there. You want to deliver missions on the planet. Why? Why can't you do that? There's a lot of real estate there, right? And gameplay to be had. Points of interest. Just saying. Um, so anyway, so I said, look, you need to fix the rovers. They feel like paper anyway. They're just fucking stupid. They just flip over every 5 seconds, right? And also, the boxes don't stick to the fucking thing, right? They just don't. Now, I know this is a very tiny video, but I literally made a video showing the issue. If you used to do grand missions in this fucking thing, the rover, watch what happens next, right? There you go. Boom. There goes one box, and there goes another box, right? And it's retarded. That's literally all I could say, right? Anyways, I hope that helps. Seems a shame not to be able to get around the planet doing delivery missions, even though it's funny trying, which it was, right? And what happens next? You get the meal. That is what you call constructive feedback. When you're testing a game, not bitching about elevators or oh my fucking god, they're annoying bugs, yes, right? But if you're thinking of game development, you're thinking bigger picture at this point, way bigger picture. You're thinking how does that relate to this? Where if we're delivering content as a company, right? That's what CIG's thinking. How do we deliver content, but also yes, the other bugs are annoying, but we still need to give content to people. And this focus, I would suggest this year, I think Chris has gone, fuck it. The live service thing that we've got, give them content, and then we'll use the other PTU as the tech one. And whatever we can do on the tech one, we will give them that last. And we can do hot fixes for content. Makes sense to me. So I think from now on, we're going to get more hotfixes for content and quality of life on the live server. And for the major things, especially this year, is going to be the technical side of things. And I think that's I think that should have been implemented a long time ago. Maybe they couldn't, resources, whatever. But I think I like the idea of what they're doing now, or at least the direction they're going in now. And I think Salty Mike made this point on his channel, that it seems like this should have been implemented a long time ago, which I agree, but we don't run CIG, so I don't fucking know at this point. But I'm glad to see the moving in that direction, because the live servers are going to be happy, less bugs, because we'll have a stable build, clearly. So if you've got a live build team, and you got the PTU team could just, that's the PTU. No one gives a fuck. It's expected to be broken on there, right? But if you can find something that fixes, you can literally siphon that off and throw it on the live server. The live server can have more frequent updates for content, while the big stuff is being worked on the PTU or Iwakati. I think Iwakati is going to be even more exclusive in terms of the NDAs. I think that's coming forward as well, which means I will have no chance of saying anything anymore. Only because I don't like the idea of being sued, and also don't want to spoil the surprises. The only fucking thing I can say right now is the meal's got a big brother, and that's the only spoiler you're ever going to get from me. That's it. And that's common sense. I don't think that's a spoiler. I think that's you should know that or expect that to happen. Basically, but it's not until, well, I can't even tell. No, I'm just going to say it's there. It's a thing, basically. But anyway.
Yes, there is some progress. Yes, that's like having something new to do in the game, but there is still no game. And CIG has promised a game 11 years ago. Yes, there were setbacks. Yes, there was COVID. Yes, they have changed the initial idea, and now you can like land on planets and land wherever you want to. Yes, the game has expanded, but so did the money, so did the player base, and so did the time. Because, yeah, it's fucking 11 years now. and we still have bounty hunting, cargo running, and it's gonna get reworked, and maybe then piracy is gonna actually work, maybe, we'll see. And then we have box missions and mining, and that's it. But box missions don't work, cargo doesn't really work right now. We'll see if it's gonna work. Bounty hunting, it's so fucking boring that like we're just waiting for bounty hunting version 2, and like, where's the game? Where's salvage? Where's the rest of the things that were promised? But you, as a player, as an owner of a Carrack or an Aurora or a Mustang or an A90 Jump, you have your own voice and you should use it, and you should be the noise that CAG is scared of. Because yeah, they need to be like scared a bit, and they need to have some negative feedback through YouTube or whatever, Spectrum, and then they're gonna realize that this is not working, and that we demand to see more progress, to deliver on what they have promised. Because in the end, we're gonna have Pyro at some point soon. We're gonna have Nyx at some point.
No, some point soon. I like the way it says some point soon. No, you're gonna get Pyro next year at CitizenCon. That's when you're gonna get it. You're not getting it this year. Don't be daft. Don't be daft.
Soon.
I mean, to be fair, that's me being optimistic. Honestly, it is. I don't wanna piss anybody off. That's me being optimistic. If I was trying to plan it, it would be definitely for next year,
But
for sure.
what's the point
Just saying.
in having new systems, expanding the
Ah,
universe,
gotta
and
stop
this
right
game
at the
should
end.
have like
What a
100
bitch.
plus systems. But what is the use of having that many systems if all the planets are as dead as the planets that we have on Stanton? Or
Again, assumptions right there. Oh, well, what's the point of all the planets going to be dead? There's 3 people who work on the planets. 3. And they've been done for like 3 years. All the planets in the Pyro system are fucking done already. Done. Done. They're done. Can't put them in the game though, but they're done. The team that's just gave you the planetary side points of interest, between now and next year, we'll be filling Pyro and the Stanton system with the mission team. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. And they've got a year, give or take. That's plenty of time, bro. Plenty of time. The content drop for Pyro is going to be fucking insane. The only thing I'm worried about is getting in and out of Pyro. That is interesting. I hope. I think that's going to be the biggest issue to see if it works. But I'm guessing that we're going to get. I think that'll be tested Q1 next year, actually. Should be, hopefully.
the moons that
It won't be this year. It'll be next year.
we have on Stanton.
If this year, or if this later patch this year, the PES patch I'm gonna call it, if the PES patch is successful, we will get Pyro CitizenCon. If it's delayed, we will get Pyro. October, probably next year, give or take.
Once that changes,
It'll be at the end of the year for sure. Q4.
We can say that there is actual progress. And yeah, that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons that are supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's gonna be a link down in the description of the video, and you can support me there. Like, it's a smallish Patreon link. And
So yeah, anyway, I clearly disagree with the vast majority of what this guy says, but then it's my opinion, right? It's only my opinion. That's it. That's it really. Go subscribe to him, give him a like, follow him on Twitch, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, this is one man's qualified opinion, I would say. Do I get some of his points? Yeah. Do I think he's right? No, not at all. But hey, each to their own. Anyway,